Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo! I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2022, the album. Dad, AF, Rock on Gold Dust, Woman, Beast! How are you guys doing today? It is such a beautiful day in Indianapolis. I was just sitting outside on the front porch talking to my neighbors and taking in the weather. It's like 85 degrees and partly sunny, partly cloudy. I sound like a meteorologist here in Indianapolis today. It's 85 and partly sunny with a few clouds dotting the sky outside. Anyway, it is so beautiful outside, and so let's get into the drama video of the day. Ding-a-ling-a-ling! Shamalang dang ding dong. Oh, the cord is all. It's that sugar bear hair. It's not in the hairs. Anyway, ding out. How's the drama phone? This is Peter speaking. Oh, hi, Jane. How are you today? Oh, hi, Jane. How are you today? I forgot that we were starting an ASMR channel. An ASMR channel, Jane. An ASMR channel. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I got the tingles, Jane. I got the tingles. All right, I see you at the Women's League. Bye. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about ASMR. I'm going to talk about ASMR. I'm going to talk about Trisha Paytas' ASMR because I talked about it the other day in a video that I did, and I received so many comments from people saying, it was like the same comment over and over and over again, and it said, Trisha Paytas is stealing people's ASMR content ideas, and she's not crediting them, on and on and on. I received that comment, I don't even know how many times. I mean, it was a lot, right? And so I thought, this is really interesting. Have I thought in the past that Trisha Paytas is not the most original content creator? But, you know, here's the deal. Like on YouTube, yes, I have thought that before. But, you know, on YouTube, I mean, it's like, it's hard. You can't reinvent the wheel. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of lack of creativity out there. It's kind of like, you know, something works. It's like the challenges. You guys remember the challenges back in the day? And like the cinnamon challenge and what was the water bucket challenge? It's like one person does it and then everybody did it. You know, when I actually, like way back in the day when I was watching YouTube, I kind of wanted to do all that stuff. The favorites videos, I've always loved those. The hauls, the what's in my bags. I mean, there's a lot of content out there for me personally that's enjoyable. That do I think is creative? No, I don't think it's super creative. I don't think it's anything that anybody came up with themselves. I think it's things other people saw and they thought, oh, I want to do this myself. You know, and at some point, I think it also becomes so much of it on YouTube that to credit the person that it originally came from, I think is rather difficult. Now, I am not making any kind of excuses for Trisha Paytas because when I started looking into this, it was really interesting what I found. Now, I do have some notes because I didn't want to miss anything. My first point on my note is she stealing ASMR content? Because so many people are saying that. Well, what was interesting when I started going in and I was watching some of Trisha's videos, I've now watched quite a few of her ASMR videos. Now, here's the thing, okay? And I have to tell you, in reading, and I know some of you love my flipping of my fans and it gives you the tingles and all that kind of stuff. I know some of you, my voice gives the tingles too. And maybe not in a good way, but you know, when I watch this ASMR stuff, like, I don't get it. I really don't, okay? Like, I'm like, do you guys remember, well, here's a little funny story real quick, okay? My good Judy Tawny Jean and I, her niece was like 30 at the time, so don't be thinking. She wanted to go see that 50 Shades of Grey movie so bad. So we go, and there's like, we went to like the Late Show or something, and so it's Tanya Jean and I and her niece, and we're sitting like, you know, not front row, but you know, in the back, and we're sitting in the center. And there's, not center, I mean, listen, okay, you better go to church and find Jesus if you're a sinner. But anyway, I did just watch that show though, with Jessica Biel, the first season, it was so good. Anyway, and I watched Candy too, that was so good. I did not know that Justin Timberlake was a police officer in that show. I'm all over the place. But anyway, we went to it, And then behind us was this couple, and then like in the back was like another couple. I think they were doing the dirties or the romanticals or something, watching that show. But anyway, so we got to see 50 Shades of Grey, okay? Well, Tanya Jean and I, listen, all three of us had our blankets and our pillows up in the movie theater. It was like, I don't know, cold February, December or something. And so we're sitting there, and her niece is like eating the popcorn and like, watching every scene, and she thinks it's the most romantical movie in the entire world. She knows that when her husband comes home, he's going to be 50 Shades of Grey too. So we're sitting there watching it. And it's that part where Anastasia says, your game room, like Nintendo or something like that. And Tanya and I through this whole movie are like, we're like little kids and all kind of stuff. Okay, and so the couple behind us, they finally said something to us. They ended up laughing because they thought it was funny too. But they're like, can you guys hold it down up there? And Tanya and I are like two little kids, right? Coming up on, 45 and 50 at the time. So that's how I am when I watch this Asmer. Okay, I just can't take it seriously. I don't know, all this kind of stuff. Now, I did find a definition because I was like going through this Reddit thread and stuff, and I found this definition of what Asmer is supposed to do for you. So I do want to read this. And I don't know if this is, an appropriate response to this or whatever. But it says, this is just ASMR, LOL. It's meant to trigger a response. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Basically give you tingles. Like when you listen to a good song and get chills. People have different triggers that work for them. Fast and aggressive, slow, whisper, etc. And then it says, this person says, I have ADHD and love fast and aggressive ASMR as well as most other types. So I think it's supposed to help people relax is what it does. Okay, it doesn't do that for me, okay, at all. Like, I don't know, I like to listen to some music, disco, you know what I mean, or something like that. The ASMR doesn't do it for me, right? But I have to say, after watching so many different ASMR people now, like, it is rather intriguing to me. And these videos get massive amounts of views. Now, which I think is why Trisha Paytas is doing it, because they pull views and she's getting a steady amount of views. What's interesting is there are some people out there that she has supposedly stolen content from that they're only getting like 1,000 to 6,000 views per video, and she's getting like 150 to 200,000 views a video, right? I don't know why it's so difficult for, James Charles was killing for doing this back in the day when he would do a look and then he wouldn't credit the person. It's like, why is it so difficult? I mean, if you're looking at the picture and you're like, I'm going to recreate this picture, then you know who you got the idea from, whether they're the first to do it or not. And then just credit underneath there and say, inspired by so-and-so, go check out their Instagram. I don't understand why that's so hard to throw somebody a bone. I just don't get that, right? Okay. So I'm watching some of these ASMRs, and it was a lot of she does a lot of these like toxic girl ASMRs and a lot from Euphoria and stuff like that. So I'd watch those first, and then I was watching the ones where she basically just rubs stuff against her microphone. Okay, like that's not, I don't find that entertaining. That's not like what I want to watch. You know what I mean? I really like to watch, I don't know, like, well, I watch a lot of old drag pageants on YouTube, and I like to watch cute and funny animal videos. Like, those make me so happy. Those relax me, more than, I don't know, somebody clicking their nails again. I don't know, I get it. But I have to tell you, if I was going to start an ASMR channel, true story, what I would start. Did you ever watch Big Brother? Do you remember back in the day, they don't do it so much anymore, but it was like Big Brother After Dark, and they would go on the patio, and they'd like whisper. And they do that in the ASMR videos, but they would whisper on the back patio, and when they were like trying to figure out what they were going to do, who they were going to kick out, and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, I love that so much. I would start a Big Brother ASMR channel. That's what I would do, and just have a bunch of people sitting out on a back patio just whispering to each other, because that was soothing to me. I really did like that back in the day. So anyway, I started watching her videos. Well, it was when I got into the Reddit thread, and so let me find out where this thread is really quick and what it's called, because I did screenshot it. Oh, you know what was so interesting was when I was going through the Trishy Land Reddit thread, it's like all of the things. First of all, and this is on my notes. First of all, Trisha Paytas wants to come for drama channels. Okay, girl. Saying we know every move of her life. Does she ever talk about, and maybe she does and I don't know, in her 400 live streams that she does she ever talk about Trishy Land and all of that? Because they literally know every move that she makes over there. But you know what was so interesting to me is that they were talking all kinds of stuff about her TikToks and the witch community and things like that. I guess that's what it's called because they put it over there. I'm just repeating what I saw on the thread. And what's so interesting to me is that Trisha Paytas has continued to kind of just like, when one thing doesn't work, she moves on to the next, but then she kind of repeats the things that didn't work anymore, right? For example, she did asthma 5 or 6 years ago. She did the asthma videos. She did a lot of them 5 or 6 years ago, okay? It's not like she just all of a sudden came along and started doing asthma videos. She did them 5 or 6 years ago. And she's done a few through the years, because I can remember that, right? Okay, so I found this thread. Let me see what it's called. Oh shoot, did I not screenshot the thread? I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. Oh no, the thread is on, it says, I don't know why the ASMR community hasn't called out Trish for not shouting out the channel she's clearly copying from. Funny how she only gets views on videos that weren't originated by her. Well, that's not necessarily true when I looked into it. She is getting views on videos that were originated by her, but there was, and they never list who this person is on here. I think she's French. They don't ever say her name on here. But what's interesting is that they show her videos side by side with Trisha's, okay? And at that point, I hadn't watched enough ASMR videos to like really know if she was copying or not. You guys, it was unbelievable. I mean, I can't even, it was unbelievable. Like, this woman shows, like, a brooch, and it's, like, the way that she does it, and then she stops, and she, like, okay. Trisha does the same thing with these, like, necklaces, and it's, like, the same, it's like she goes the exact, it's almost like she's trying to get drama within the ASMR community going, which is interesting because a lot of people comment on there that there's just like not a lot of drama in the ASMR community, and people kind of say to themselves and they don't want to stir up drama and whatever. So it's almost kind of like Trisha wants to get called out, which I'll get to in a second because I have a theory about that Trisha wants to get called out for copying unoriginal content, allegedly, because then people will go to watch her videos more, right? Okay. So then there was one on here, and at this point I'm kind of like, well, a lot of these are alike, and she's doing the clicking thing, you know, with her mouth and all this kind of stuff, and so much of ASMR seems very similar to me. But then there's one where it's like an eye chart is in the background, and the same woman is using a light, and she's going back and forth. You guys, if you laid the videos side by side and watched them, Trisha Paytas 100% copied this person. I mean, it's not even like, kind of. I mean, it is like, oh my God, like this is literally, you just did the exact same video, you know? And then I was kind of thinking like, through the years, there's been so many videos that when I looked at them, it was like I excused it away because I was a Trisha fan at the time. And it was like, I look back on them and I'm thinking to myself, there was a lot of unoriginality about that to begin with. Okay. So let me read you some of the comments that people left over here. Hold on a second. Picture of a pizza that I got last night. Okay, I'm watching The Lincoln Lawyer. It's so good. So somebody said, I know she thinks we hate on her just because we don't like her, but honestly, her ASMR sucks. Not because we hate her, but because it sucks. There's so many other talented people who do ASMR that actually put in work to make it good. And that was what somebody else said. And somebody else said, she literally plagiarizes the most crappy versions of others' ideas, doesn't give credit, then pats herself on the back, talking about how great her channel is doing. And then it's the ASMR comment that I read. Somebody said, the reason that they don't like call her out in the ASMR community, somebody said, is because it would be tattling themselves. To be honest, they all copy each other. These are concepts, and whenever someone hits on a concept and is successful, they all do it. She's just tapping into the ASMR verse and clicking the best of top tap. So what they're saying is there really is no originality in the ASMR community, that she's just going to the top viewed ones and then she's copying those because those are the ones that are going to get the most views, if that makes sense. There could be a lot of truth to that, you know? I think there's a lot of YouTubers that do that go to what is trending or what is most viewed at the moment or what's being most talked about or whatever, and then those are the videos that they do. So, you know, and like I said, I think we're at a point on YouTube where it's kind of, unless you're doing a channel where you're just completely authentically yourself, sharing with the world your life, I think it's hard to create original content because that original content is you just being yourself, right? And just talking about your life or whatever, of which there are hundreds of thousands of YouTubers like that, you know? But unless you're doing that, it's really hard to come up with an original concept on YouTube these days. Somebody said, of course, a total ripoff. Who would expect any originality from Trisha Paytas? There's no comparison, though. Trisha Paytas doesn't even copy well. She seems frantic. This shows how bad she is at ASMR. And then it goes on and says a bunch of stuff. Damn, she copied everything, they said. And then it's a bunch of people just calling her out about how, like, because they put this video up side by side. Seeing it side by side is hilarious to me. She's so bad at copying, but it's also obvious because these ASMR ideas were way too specific for Trisha to just come up with those. And then it goes on and on and on. So I thought all of that was very interesting. Do I think that she's 100% copying content? No, I think some of her ideas are original, and I'm just being fair. The ones she does copy, she copies like verbatim. And I think it's the ones that are getting the most views that she's copying because she wants to pull traffic to her channel, you know. I just don't understand. Here's my thing, right? Like, if you're inspired by something, you know, it's not even necessarily being copied. You can just say, I'm inspired. Just to say, I'm inspired by Judy Smith, you know, to go do this. I mean, do y'all think I was the first one to do a crumble cookie review? I mean, let's just be for real. Like, I had seen other people do it, and I thought, oh, I've got a crumble cookie up the street. That's a cute idea, right? I know I didn't credit who I watched because I was watching TikTokers and so many other people, right? I don't even remember the first person that I watched. But, you know, there have been a lot of videos where I have talked or responded to drama stories, and I will say in my video, I saw so-and-so do a video about it, and so I want to give my 2 cents about it. I just don't understand why that's so difficult. I don't get it, you know? Let me peruse my notes for a second. So I looked at the Reddit thread. And like I said, I didn't understand why she always is constantly coming for drama channels, except that I think she knows drama channels will make videos in response to her. And the Reddit thread over in Trishy Land, I mean, you guys, it's not kind. It just isn't. They are, and it's not kind, right? And I think maybe she's not wanting to bring attention to that. What is interesting is that there's so much speculation that Moses is like one of the people that comments a lot on there. Do I think that Trisha Paytas and Moses, I mean, it's interesting because she's always said through the years, it's like, I don't watch drama, but then she says in other things like, I keep up with all the drama, I can't stop, or, you know, she'll have her computer on in a video in the background and it'll have some drama channel. And we know she watches the drama. She keeps up with all the drama. So, hey, Trisha, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your day. You know, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, no, I'm serious. Hey, Trish, how are you doing? But anyway, but it's interesting to me that she doesn't on a regular basis come for Trishy Land because they literally know everything, right? And I do think that to some degree, I don't know. Like, I think she thinks if she makes comments about drama channels, then people will go watch the drama channel videos, which will feed people to go watch her videos. That's what I think a little bit. So, okay. And then I wanted to say, you know, it's kind of like, I have all of these. Do you ever write notes to yourself at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I was in the middle of watching the different episodes of Lincoln Lawyer, and I was like, okay, I need to start chart, because I was in my head, and I thought I got to chart this thing out. Well, I just watched, you know, the Andy Warhol Diaries, and in there, you know, they talk about, I did not know this was an Andy Warhol quote, but the bad press is good press, or, you know, any press is good press kind of attitude. I did not know that originated from Andy Warhol, so I want to give credit where credit's due. But anyway, you know, it's interesting to me because I think that Trisha Paytas thinks along those lines. I think she thinks no matter what kind of press I'm getting, whether it's drama channels or Trishy Land, if somebody is talking about me, it feeds my need for attention and it builds views, which views translate into money and things like that. And I think that like long ago, Trisha became obsessed with the views on YouTube and the fame and notoriety and the money on YouTube and this lifestyle that she has, you know. And I was thinking about it last night, and I was like thinking about it in regards to like being a person in recovery, you know. And I can remember when I was an active addict and when I started using drugs, and I can remember, you know, saying to myself like, being so scared to smoke pot for the first time, but really wanting to try it. And being like, I know, listen, okay, it was a long, long time ago, okay? It wasn't like last year for Gabby Hanna. But, you know, so I can remember being scared and my friends being like, come on, we're going to smoke this joint and all this kind of stuff. We didn't even know how to roll a joint, I don't think. and smoking pot and being like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. And then being like, okay, but I'm never going to do acid or something like that, right? And then being like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. And that was kind of how I kept on lowering the bar for the drugs that I used. You know, it was like, I won't do this, I won't do that. And it wasn't just drugs. It was like the things, I mean, I'm being completely honest. It's just like the things that I would do, you know, while I was using, to use, things like that. I just kept on lowering the bar to the point where at some point, I just didn't really care anymore, you know? I just wanted to numb my mind, and I just wanted to mute all of the thoughts that were going on. That's where I wanted to get to. That was my goal, right? So it didn't matter what I had to do to get there. I didn't really care anymore. When I got sober was when I started, down the road was when I started caring again. And I was like, okay, I need to turn this around. I need to start, like, you know, getting my integrity back and all that kind of stuff, right? And, you know, raising that bar a little bit for myself again. Well, to some degree, I think that's Trisha Paytas. I think Trisha Paytas is so addicted to this lifestyle. She's so addicted to being talked about. She's so addicted to the attention. And, I mean, and this is the thing is, she says she's not, but, you know, I think that we have proof of that now when she's filming every aspect of her life and putting it out there and then saying, don't judge me, but then laying it out there again the next day, don't judge me. She says all of this stuff. I mean, first of all, for us to drama channels, Trishy Land, anybody, to know everything about her, she would have to talk about it. So she's the one that's talking about it, right? You know, it's like, you know, it's like when you get to the age where you realize that, like, I don't know, like, if somebody tells a secret to somebody and then they get mad at you for passing on that secret, it's like, girl, you told the secret to several people. You need to own that, right? Like, Trisha Paytas needs to get in a video and be like, I guess I'm the one that's putting all the personal information out there. If I don't want people to know about this, I guess I shouldn't be talking about it, right? Instead of blaming everybody else for getting on YouTube channels and having responses about it. But she craves the attention, and the attention equals money, and she craves the money, and she craves the lifestyle. There's a lot of speculation over there that Trisha Paytas is financially not doing real well right now, and I don't know anything about that. I mean, I guess I could look into it, but I'm not going to right now. But, you know, it kind of like, it makes me really sad because I think she's at a point where she doesn't even realize it. And having been on YouTube for a really long time and starting at a young age, or somewhat young age, you know, when she was still like developing on YouTube, you know, emotionally developing on YouTube, it's like to get that attention. I think it's the same thing that we're seeing with Gabby Hanna. You know, it's like Gabby Hanna got all this attention early on in her life, and now she craves it. She has to have it. She feeds it, right? When really what they need is this internal validation from themselves, not from all of these other people. You know, and I think it's this idea of I just need to have this ultimate love. And so I don't know what Trisha can do to redeem this at this point. You know, I was thinking on there, I think I put some ideas. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. And oh, the other thing I wanted to say is that I think at this point, like, there is nothing that Trisha Paytas is not willing to do on YouTube as long as it garners attention, views, and money. Like, there isn't really anything that think about who she's offended. She's literally offended every community at this point, right? What's one more to her? She doesn't care. It's like me with the addiction, lowering myself to the next thing. It's like, well, I might as well try it. Maybe I'll like it, just like I liked the last one that I was scared of. She doesn't care. It doesn't mean anything to her. It doesn't mean anything to her that she's offending people, right? And so, and I also think the other thing is, I remember talking to Trisha Paytas back in the day, and I can't think of his name. Oh shoot, I could look it up. But what's his name? The comedian that was on the TV show Taxi. And she was kind of like obsessed with him a little bit and like talking about him as a comedian and how he was. Okay, I think Trisha Paytas very much sees herself on YouTube and in the public eye as a character. So there's Trisha Paytas, the person, and then there's Trisha Paytas, the character. When the camera's rolling, we're getting Trisha Paytas, the character. Which is why when people would say, I'm so worried about Trisha, I'm so worried about Trisha, and I would call her and I'd say, hey, people are worried about you, are you okay? And she'd say, oh, I'm just fine, that was just a video. And then I think there's Trisha Paytas, like there's the person and then there's the character. I think for her, the division makes sense. I think for everybody else, it doesn't, right? And this has really been what's bit her in the butt, so to speak, is that people don't know the division between Trisha Paytas, the person, and Trisha Paytas, the character anymore. They really don't. She worked on building this character for so many years that now people don't know who's the character and who's the person, you know? And it's not working to her advantage. And so I was thinking about this last night, and I was like, well, what do I mean, the ASMR videos are doing okay, but can they sustain a lifestyle of living in the mansion that she lives in and all that kind of stuff? No, they can't, you know? And, I mean, I know that she has her other sources of income. There was a lot of talk about the OnlyFans over there and things like that. And apparently she says that that's her job. I don't know much about that right now. But, you know, I think for Trisha Paytas to turn things around, it's like, she is going to have to some degree, like, pull it in a little bit and go to, like, more of, like, a family channel with Moses and do, like, I guess, eating videos and stuff. But those don't even, like, eating food, and those videos don't even do that well anymore. And the thing is, if she goes in the direction of a family channel and she starts showing this child on a regular basis, like, people are not going to be happy about that. They're not, you know? And she's going to have to be really, really careful about that. And, you know, I think she's going to be so excited about all these new things that she's going to want to show them in videos. And then when they get any ounce of criticism whatsoever, she's going to go off. Like, don't come and tell me what I'm doing wrong. You know, it's going to be that whole situation, which I really think, I mean, I for a long time thought, what will be the nail in the coffin of Trisha Paytas' career? And honest to God, because, you know, if she could reinvent herself and she could start taking care of herself and whatever, I think there's a lot of people that would be there for her. But I think that might be the end, is when, you know, I don't know. You know, stick to the asthma, Trisha. Stick to the asthma. And this is the other thing I want to just say. It makes me sad about the asthma, and is she stealing content, you know, whatever. And I don't know that it's definitive for me whether she is or not. I think a lot of the videos look very similar to other people's that I watched, you know. But the thing is that having watched Trisha through the years, do I think she's the most creative person in the entire world? No. Do I think she's come up with some extremely creative and original ideas? Absolutely. She's had her moments. If you've watched Trisha for any period of time, there's no doubt that you can't say that she's had those moments, okay? I mean, just like, I think about the video where and I know people are going to be like, well, that was a copy. It was a parody of a copy. I mean, it was almost in that moment. So, like, when she's standing in the kitchen singing Lady Gaga, or saying that she's better than Lady Gaga, I mean, that video was really good, you know? But it's like, if Trisha would really tap into, instead of buying all this crap for the ASMR, if she would sit down, let's say for a half an hour by the pool in the morning and be like, okay, what's a really original idea that I could do today, you know? And then come up with a really original idea and recreate it in an ASMR video. There's so many things. I mean, hell, I'm just sitting here. I'm not going to give her any ideas, but I'm sitting here just knowing her, thinking of all these ideas that she could do, you know, based around movies, based around her wanting to dress up in these movie roles and things like that. I watched the Showgirls one. I thought it was not very well done, but anyway, so that's what I think. Let me know what you think about Trisha, her original content, and do you think that she's stealing content from these ASMR channels below? I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.